Okay, we shall work out problem number 12. So in problem number 12, so whatever the things we have discussed in the previous video, so according to that we have to prepare liquidator's final statement of account. While working out this statement, you should have the knowledge about liquidator final statement of account format. So while preparing the statement, the first thing is you have to enter the receipt side. Complete receipt side you have to complete. So the first receipt is, so usually you have to write the cash in hand and cash at bank. Usually cash in hand and cash at bank will not be given in the adjustment. It is there in the balance sheet. It is already in high liquid form. So first you have to write cash in hand and cash at bank. So according to this problem, so there is a cash at bank of rupees 30,000. You enter this first. Next, assets realized. So assets realized means those assets which are sold in the market. This information you will get in the adjustment. So some of the assets realized, don't write the book values which are given in the balance sheet. You have to write the realizable value. Data 60,000, stock 70,000, plant and machinery 1,80,000, land and building 2,40,000. Okay, I think only these are the assets which are realized. So you add that, so total you are going to get 5,80,000. Means at the time of liquidation, company has received only 5,80,000. Within 5,80,000, company has to make the payment. Beyond that, don't make any payment. So according to the format, so the first payment should be secured creditors. Secured creditors means any loan obtained by pledging a asset. So in the balance sheet, so information given, so there are 6% debenture secured loan and others mortgage on land and building. I already told, don't take debenture under secured creditors in liquidation. You have to take other, that is mortgage on land and building. So if asset is given, so first you confirm what is the asset value and what is the loan taken. Loan taken is 1 lakh. Land and building value is 2,40,000. That means asset value is more than the loan taken. So in this condition, out of 2,40,000 we can pay 1 lakh. Reverse condition iddidre it's not possible. So ಎಷ್ಟು loan ಎಷ್ಟು asset value ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So secure creditors 1 lakh. So we can pay 1 lakh. So after paying 1 lakh, immediately we should calculate what is the remaining balance available. Remaining balance is 4,80,000. Clear? First one is secure creditors 1 lakh we paid. So balance available is 4,80,000. Next, after secure creditors, next one is liquidation expenses. So liquidation expenses amounted to rupees 8,000. So out of 4,80,000, if you deduct 8,000 means 4,72,000 is the balance available. Actually this balance available is not compulsory, but for your reference to know what is the balance available for the next payment, so you have to do this. After liquidation expenses, next one, liquidators remuneration. Under liquidators remuneration, 2% on asset realized. 2% on assets realized excluding cash. It is given in the adjustment. So whatever the asset realized you take, don't take cash at bank. So total assets realized means 5,80,000 is the total, minus 30,000 means 5,50,000 is the total assets realized excluding cash. So 2% means it comes to 11,000. So available balance is 4,61,000. Next, after this, 3% on amount payable to unsecured creditors including preferential creditors. I already told, if in the adjustment they mentioned only about unsecured creditors, you have to take preferential creditors. we don't know how much money we are going to pay to unsecured creditors. So leave 2 or 3 line space for this. After this, debenture is given, which is amounted to rupees 1 lakh. So balance is 3,61,000. And next, after debenture, so there is an adjustment for outstanding interest on debenture. It is not given, they mention date. So if they mention date about all payment should be made, means debenture interest should be payable 1 lakh. So 6% and for 6 months, because till 31st September, so this payment was made. So 3,000, so balance 3,58,000. Next, after this, preferential creditors. So preferential creditors, it is given income tax will be treated as preferential creditors. It is 10,000, balance 3,48,000. Next, so we need to pay to unsecured creditors. Unsecured creditors is 90,000. If you pay 90,000, balance available is 2,58,000. 2,58,000. Next, after unsecured creditors, immediately you have to calculate liquidators remuneration. Unsecured creditors is 90,000, preferential creditors 10,000, 1 lakh into, so percentage 3/100, that is 3,000. So out of 2,58,000 minus 3,000 means balance available 2,55,000. Okay, 2,55,000. Next, preference share capital. Preference share capital. So preference share capital amounted to rupees 1 lakh, balance 1,55,000. Next, dividend is there, arrears of preference dividend. So for 3 years, so 3 years means 1 lakh into 6/100 into 3, it comes to 18,000, balance 2,37,000. Next amount available to, sorry, this is 1,37,000. So 1,55,000 minus 18,000, 1,37,000. Equity share capital balance availability is 1,37,000. Yes, so we could have pay 1,37,000 to the equity shareholders. But in the problem, there are 2 equity share capital. One is 2,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. Second one is 3,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 50 paid. So we cannot distribute 1,37,000 equally among these 2 equity share, because the contribution of 2,000 equity shareholder is more than 3,000 equity shareholders. 2,000 equity shareholders has paid more 50 rupees more than 3,000 equity shareholders. So for that sake, so whatever the amount is available, by that amount we have to pay the excess amount which is paid by 2,000 equity shareholders. So in order to work out that, so we have to calculate amount available to equity shareholders, 1,37,000 minus excess amount paid by 2,000 equity shareholders. They have paid 50 rupees extra. So 2,000 into 50 means each contribution 50 means 1 lakh. So balance 37,000. So this is balance available or amount available to 2,000 equity shareholders and 3,000 equity shareholders. So why this is available to these means that 37,000 is the balance available. So after paying 1 lakh, So 50 rupees excess paid by 2000 equity shareholders. If we pay off that 50 rupees, then 2000 equity shareholders paid up value will be 50. 100 rupee they have paid. If we pay back 50, now the paid up value of 2000 equity shareholders is 50 rupees. Next, so if it is 37,000, if it is available for 5,000 equity shareholder, so each share is going to get 7.4 per share. So then for 2000 equity shareholders, 2000 into 7.4 means 14,800. Next, 3000 equity shareholders means 3000 into 7.4. It comes to 22,200. Total 37,000. 22,200. So 37,000 is the balance. So in the statement you have write equity share capital is 1,37,000. You have to write for 2000 equity shareholders how much they are getting. 1 lakh plus 14,800. 1,14,800 and 3,000 equity shareholders are getting only 22,200. 1,40,800. See, 1,14,800 for 2,000 equity shareholders. 3,000 equity shareholders are getting 2,22,000. So total both side it is 5,80,000.